Well, I was in the market for a new car a few years ago, and I wanted something that was energy efficient and could go highway speeds and was affordable. So I started looking on the internet and really had a hard time. I looked for a long time to find something. Almost broke down and bought a Prius, but that's when I discovered the NMG, which is 4 times as energy efficient. And so I thought, you know, it's only one, obviously it's 4 times as energy efficient because it can only carry 1 person and a Prius can carry 4. But most of my driving is by myself.
That is amazing. It's great. I didn't realize psychology was just the green energy.
Well, it's a neon green oddity rolling down the road. So, you know, people stop, they stare, they point, they smile. Some people wave. They nudge each other. My favorite response that I got once was a guy who was just walking down the street on the sidewalk, and I was slowed down because traffic was slow, and he stopped in his tracks, he stared for a few seconds, and then he just started clapping like this as I drove past, which made me feel pretty good. I've got an amp meter here that tells me at all times how much energy I'm using, and so the little game that I like to play is how low can you keep the needle? And sometimes I can go, you know, in certain areas on the trip here, I've got a 1.5 2 mile stretch where I can just coast the entire time. And it just feels so good to go that kind of distance at 50-55 miles an hour and not use any energy at all, except for the radio, which is nice. I can go about 5 miles for 10 cents worth of electricity. So with gas prices being what they are, about $3.90 a gallon, I'm currently getting about 195 miles on the cost of 1 gallon of gasoline, which is awesome. And I know people are kind of upset about gas prices being what they are, but once it hits $4, I get to celebrate a little bit because that means I've crossed the 200 mpg barrier, which is neat. This is not the only car you want in your driveway, right? So, I mean, if I have to pick up my kids from school or something like that, of course I'll drive the Scion XA. But that gets 35 mpg, so I feel pretty good about that. But really, most of the time, it's just fun. You know, some people will sometimes joke around as I'm driving past them, and they'll put out their thumb like they're hitchhiking, and I just kind of say, oh, well, no room, sorry.